Check, check. Hi, everyone. Hi, Devron. Can you just let me know in the comment if you can hear me so that I can get started? Hi, Fakr. All right. Okay, so again, as all the latest stream, I will be working on my assignment for iAnimate. So I'm working on a combo animation. So I will switch to Blender right away. Okay. So yesterday in the latest stream, I've been mainly focusing on this part here, the transition from the kick. So we don't care about the dummy character here. It's not polished at all. I haven't worked on it yet. But the transition from the kick here, and we've polished the arms to this pose, and we have stopped there. Okay, so I was mainly concerned by the head spacing during the last stream. So it turns out to be pretty good. You can see I have a nice arc here. Okay, so if we watch again, there is a good flow. And I've worked on the arm. So I had a bit of time, like this morning, like half an hour, where I worked a bit on the arms. And I've also created a shape key on the gun to be able to make a smear here. So this is something I'm using here, a simple shape key, sorry. Okay, that's it. Because as I was explaining yesterday, I just have only one bone to control the gun, so I couldn't bend it like this. And also the topology is optimized for games, so I'm lacking a couple of edge loop to create a nice and curvy shape. But that's fine, it's just on a couple of frames here. And also I started working on the next pose. So I've already here polished this motion. So this is something I've done off stream. Okay, like that. And I've worked also on the gunshot. So this part till there. So here I need to work on the arms because I haven't polished the arm. And also I was mainly concerned by fixing shoulder flipping due to the rig limitation like that. So the elbow is getting a bit bananas. Okay, it's totally awful. But what I did and that I really like is that I've made an offset in the torso. So the ends are going down first. So what I want to see here is the silhouette of the gun all along, even if in world space, let's say, it doesn't look that good in camera space, I'd like to keep it as readable as possible. And so the torso is getting pushed or pulled down by the arm. The root follow, it's like super squashed in this pose, and then the hips are getting dragged, like pushed by the torso just after an end bounce like that. And so it looks pretty, I really enjoy this motion here. It might be a bit too much because I was a bit over-focused, but I think it does sell the recoil pretty well. So hold just a second. Okay. So hope everything makes sense. Just let me know if you have any question. So now what I am fighting with, let's say, it's this transition into this pose where she noticed or she's trying to spot if she has touched her target, which is the dummy. So with the FXs here, it makes more sense. So you can see she's so even if it's off screen, we don't really care, but she's shooting. And the recoil is so strong that she's closing her eyes. And then she just check if she hit her target and is happy. And as she realized it, she will dive. So this is not polished at all. This is from the blocking. She make a little dodge with a Betty Boop pose. This is what I was aiming for. The contrast between I'm ripping your head off and then I get like a very how to say, not girly, but yeah, in a way a bit exaggerated girly pose, a bit a pin-up pose, like to show the contrast between the two actions. So yeah, I need to work on all of this. What I did on this section here of line 2 is that I've bent the leg using secondary controllers, those tweaker bones here, the pink one. So you can see that this is the, if I select them all and cancel the transformation, it's like that. And what I did is that I've curled the leg a bit so that I get a nice flow from the foot to the top of the head. And so we get a smoother movement here. So she pull her gun and settle into pose and then bow. Big shot here. Okay. Yeah, shape keys, sorry, are super cool to create smears and stuff. So you can build them like on the fly if you want. Let's say for this one here, I'd like a smear that could make sense. Okay, on the arms, for example. So I will just make a quick example here. I will create a new shape key. Okay. In edit mode here, I have set up the armature modifier so that it doesn't move. And now I can build from there a smear shape. So I will do it like super roughly. Something like that. Maybe I can curl it a bit. Oh, not too much. It's pretty hard because the transform pivot is on the unmodified character. But yeah, I will just do this like super roughly just so that you have the idea. Like something like that, okay. And I can then go out of edit mode. On the previous frame, key to 0. Here, key to 1. And then here I can reduce it. Or I can create another shape key if needed. And then set it to 0. And you will see that, you see just on one frame, it works like super nicely. So I will need to make a nice arc with very strong lines near the end, on the very extremity of the end, like that. And something way smoother as soon as we are getting close to the elbow. Oh, okay. So most of game engines now support this kind of stuff, the shape keys or blend shape, but I don't know if performance-wise it's very good. So yeah, I will just remove it, and yeah, this might be overkill if I set like shape keys everywhere. So I don't know why I can't remove this. Okay. Okay. The visibility, to calculate the motion path. Okay, I will show you. And then I will start working on the animation. So let's track the arm because it's one of the most interesting points here. From frame 58. So yeah, sorry, it's in the, you go into pose mode, you select the bone you want to track, you go into pose mode, you go in the armature option, motion path here, okay, and then you set the range. So I from 58, for example, to frame 78. And when you click calculate, it will re-ask you the range and whether you want to track the tail or the head of the bone. And here you can see the motion path. So you need to activate the overlays to see it, which it's not the case here, but if I activate the overlays in this view, I will also see them in camera space, which can be oh, there is, wow, what happened here? I have a big bug in my animation. I will just revert it. And hopefully this is, wow. Oh. So lately I had bugs in Blender, and I don't know why. I get keys that get overshoot like that. You see this? Oh. And it's killing me because I spent like hours working on those. I don't know why it does that, but you have the the answer regarding the so I guess it was okay. Just setting them back to auto clamp. I will have a path later on, but yeah, that's quite infuriating. And I know it's not because I've selected the handles, because if so, I would have seen this happening before. So yeah. Now the motion path here is in the core of Blender, and you can't manipulate them directly in the 3D viewport. Now they update automatically when you are working on the animation, but you can't manipulate them. But there is an add-on that is $20 or something, and that's it. And it seems that it allows you to do this, to edit the curve in the 3D space and get the right motion afterward. Okay, so I will work on the arm just for the recoil here. So I've already posed the right hand, which is leading the animation because the left arm is currently constrained to the right arm using an IK and a temporary constraint. So I will just focus on this arm and then I will fix the other one because I can't work in both at the same time. I will just okay, sorry, push. So the idea is that here the hands are leading, but I'm still in forward kinematic because the gun is pulling so the gun is currently leading the animation. But you see if you track the hands, they are pulling and here, yeah, I think there is a little problem in the spacing. Like I have a big jump, which is okay, a small jump, and a bigger jump. While it should be big, a little less, and a little less. So I will just check that. It might be due to the fact that the torso is moving just after. So I will use the motion path again. So from 120. Yeah, you see here the spacing is smaller than here. And this is because I've also the root motion here that drags the whole body down. So if I look at the rotation of the hands, that's pretty fine. But from this angle, you can see that it's going right, left, and then down again, which doesn't make sense. But this is because I wanted to be able to see it in camera space. So I will slightly rotate it like that and align the gun with the curve. Since it's leading the animation, it's pulling the hand in that direction. So it should follow the original path in a way. So here, I will close her eyes immediately because it's a bit distracting here. Where is the face controller? Here, okay. So this one is already closed. This one needs to be closed too. And there is an offset in the target here. So whenever I have bugs like that, I can even push the eyeballs a bit inward like that. It's not a problem. And the idea is that I'm using the eyebrow also I will close her eyes just before as soon as she shoot with the gun. Hopefully the white of the eye won't show too much in the render with the occlusion. And here I also have a little bug, so I'm just fixing it because it's blinking here, and that's a bit annoying. Like that. Okay. This is because the target is like moving everywhere. Okay. So I will make loosen a bit the rotation of the arm forward here, because the pose here can be she won't be holding this pose. This is the very extreme, so she get like pulled a lot back. Let me close the window. And then even if she keeps her arm behind her head, she will recover a bit from a bit more, let's say. So I will add an overshoot here. Very soft. And then she will recover a little more here. So we close it like that to see the curves. As I'm using quaternion, sometimes it can be complicated to guess in which direction you have to. And here we have mainly moved each. Maybe it's a bit too fast. Yeah. I will get rid of this key, and I will offset this one. Yeah, you see, when she reach with the with her hips the lower position, then there is a little the arms are relaxing a bit, like there is something like that, and I will amplify it with the shoulders too. But since the arms are not inheriting the rotation of the shoulders, because the rig is set this way, it's easier. So it generates a bit of rotation bugs, but it's way easier to animate this way. Unless you have like big twisting in the body and the arms are not following, then it requires a lot of animation, but yeah, I like it here. I will just move the shoulder here slightly up and inward. Okay, so you can see this one here, like flipping. Okay, so I will show you how I fix it. So it's like fighting with the rig limitation, so it won't be like the tip of the ear, like do this and it will solve all your problems. It's going to be like, yeah, just walk each frame one by one to fix the problem. So if you have this like on the whole animation, then this might be because you're not using the right technique. So here I'm just dragging the shoulder down to amplify You see this poof. So it might be a bit too much then. Yeah, maybe just a bit too low compared to the previous position. In Zoo Gaming, what is the skin ruby? When you have, I will answer in French very quickly. Si tu as un fond tout rose, c'est que il manque une texture. À partir du moment où tu as un bug d'affichage, c'est parce que tu as une texture qui a disparu. So he's having some troubles with like pinkish background. And this might not be the place to ask, but whatever. So if I go here into preview mode. Oh, okay, hold on. I'll get back in a second. All right, I'm back. So I was talking about rendering issues very rapidly. Here, if I get rid of a texture, or if it does, no, I need to cut the texture currently. So, oh no, I can't do the bug here because it's the textures are packed. But yeah, whatever. It's not a rendering stream. I will talk about rendering in another stream. But generally, in any 3D software, it can be like, I don't know, Maya, even Unity. If you have this kind of color displayed on your character or whatever part of the environment, it's generally that a texture is missing. I'm Maxial Star, Logish. I don't know if I'm butchering your names, guys, but so I think it doesn't look bad. So I need to focus on the right arm here. But this motion here is way too fast, both in the arm and maybe the torso is okay. But I feel like she should get the, so I have polished the root for this part of the animation, but I haven't polished the chest nor the hips. So I feel like it's going like super fast from there. And while most of the time I was leading with the chest or the head, for example, here the head is diving forward and the body is following. And then when she gets down, the hips are leading. Here, since it's moving to the side, I don't want to lead with the head or the hips. I think the root is leading. So what I will do maybe here is make it drag a bit and rotate it. So I polish with the curve for the feet, some specific rotation, the root motion, I go all the way with curve. And here, I'm just first checking directly on the pose. So what I would do is to maybe overshoot a bit the pose. So I will check only with the rotation because I don't want to get too much dragging here and too much like overshoot when she finished the movement, because she's very light and she's controlling her body here and her pose. So that wouldn't make sense that she dodge on the side and then go like something like that. I just, wow, my back just make a bad noise and now it's painful. Oh. Because here you see if you watch the breast, for example, it's already rotating a lot, and I need a smooth rotation, and I want to rotate backward a bit, like that. So now watching the curve makes sense for me. I can smooth a bit the animation. So she reached the pose here on frame 136. So I will slightly drag the body here, okay, and chook. On like 3 frames later, she just settled. So the rotation of the torso, I don't feel like the rotation of the torso is way too quick. It's a bit too quick. So I will make it a little more linear here. And I do feel like the arms are not helping. So I will hide them. Okay. Yeah, it's a fast motion. It's a fast motion for sure. So there isn't that much rotation in the hip. So I will go into the dope sheet and I will just offset the pose where she reached by 1 frame. That should be okay. And then I will rework the curve accordingly. So I'm broadly reworking the timing, and then I will polish it. So this is the x-axis movement here, and I will slightly soften the curve here to have a slower movement. Okay, now it doesn't feel that weird. There is something weird happening in the torso here. There is and also she raised a bit too fast. It's a bit too linear if you follow this part of the body here. It goes like straight up and then down a bit, while I generally prefer to get a little down and rise just after. So here I will lower this part. She pushes and she dives a bit into the next pose, and then as she reaches the pose, she's at the highest point, and then she settles lower. Okay, yeah, I like it. So I feel like there is a quick twist. I will just check that the root is not involved. Yeah. So here I have rotation forward, which okay, and also on the side. But there is not that much of a change in the rotation of the root, so I think it's still this one. I need to delay a bit here the rotation like that. And then I will re-enable the arms. Because the thing is that when we have the arms displayed, we may focus on the elbows that goes very fast, and so it's I do feel like it's going too fast, but I need to first work on the torso, and then there is also a problem on the shoulder here. You can see there is a big drop, and then it goes up again here. So I need to check why. I think it's the location. It might be something I've done in the during the blocking that got offset. So there is still a little jump in the frame, but I will check when I have the arms available to see what it is and if it makes sense. Yeah, you should not say that. Why can't you animate dark mink? If you have a computer or whatever thing to animate, then just go for it. If you ever watch my very first animation, it was like super shitty. So we are all beginners at some point, and there will always be someone better than us. So there is always room to progress, but you have to accept the fact that you can't make cool animation as soon as you start. It's like drawing, it's like everything. Like sports, you need to train to get good. And yeah, just start with simple animation, but do it. I mean, even if you're not happy with the animation, you'll be better on the next one, and that's how it works. I will just, so here there is a hold, okay. I will just, instead of having a plateau here or a flat curve, I will slightly, very slightly move the curve based on the previous interpolation. So it was getting a little lower and then it's raising. So I can insert a key just to make if I focus on them here, a slight ball like that. Just so that even if it looked still, my character is still moving, okay? Unless it's your character is dead, or it's an artistical choice to have hold position, you should watch for those things and try to avoid them. So I'm quite happy with the torso motion here. I will now just see this part of the body here, the belly. There is a lot of changing in the shape, and I feel like there is maybe something happening with those. So here there is no change in the curve. Here you can see there are. So it's hard to say, but maybe there is a weird behavior in this part of the body. For example, here there is a big change in the X curve from there to there. So you can see that she's pulling her butt back. So I need to dig the back a little sooner. So here she was like recovering, but then she kept the pose while she's moving forward. And even if we don't feel it in this camera view, here our center of gravity is getting a little too much forward. So she will look unbalanced. And I think this is what I've countered here. And so we in the screen space or the camera space, we see a big change in the hips, and this might be due to this. So I will just get back a bit to this pose. And now if I focus on camera space, I still have a big change from this frame to this frame. But it might be something else. So what I don't like here is that I have proper shape on both sides. Here, this is smooth, this is pinched, okay, and then that's weird. I feel like there is a big change in the maybe it's the root translation. I will track it. Okay. And I want to track the head. Okay. No, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, the spacing is pretty. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And I'm sure that if there is any like weirdness, my instructor will see it right away. So he will be able to help me with this one. Here I have a slight pop in the hips. Where she recovers. So it might be, that's the problem, because on those extreme poses, I've been working also with the trigger bones. And you can see here that I have a big gap. And I think this is the reason why I have So I'm not really considering what I'm seeing in screen space here, because I'm happy with this pose and the next one. I've just seen that it was like popping in between, and so I'm just like polishing the curve or smoothing the curve in a way. Okay, so I think I will be able to display the arms. So just to let you know, I've polished like everything to, let's say, yeah, this, but the face and the hairs. I haven't touched the face and the hairs from the beginning till here. They were animated in blocking, which I generally don't do when I'm working in production, like in Noara. But here we did a very detailed blocking with all those secondary motion and follow-through animated, even in the blocking, to train in a way and to get like a transition from blocking to polishing that is as smooth as possible. And I must say that, yeah, it's a cool method. I generally use more of a layered approach where I block the whole body, the arms and stuff like that, but all follow-through animation, I just animate them afterward directly into spline based on the movement of the other part of the character. Okay, so let's Okay, show the arms. Oh, that's strange. Huh. This is weird. I think I know why it's bugging, but yeah, doesn't matter. I need to check that with my friend Wayne Dixon. He helped me. He polished the script of the UI so that I get everything here. And he did some improvement and modification, so maybe this bug was addressed a little later. But I'm not working on the latest version of the rig. So uh, so now I'm still watching the elbow here. So I will track it so that what I will say afterward will make sense. So from, let's say, 125 to this, okay, one, okay. And I will choose the tip of the bone, the tails or the tip, yeah. So it's the point of the elbow. And I will hide all the other bones. So here you can see the spacing, it's pretty strong, and it makes a straight line, and then it goes up in a straight line. So you want to avoid that. We want to create a nice curve, okay? So I think I will lower the arm here, and here you can see the rotation curve are going pretty crazy. And also I will slow the movement a bit. So once she reached the pose, which is like happening in 4 frame only, I will offset this one, at least by 1 frame. Let's try 2, okay. And I will pull down the elbow here, right from the beginning. So from there, I will start lowering the arm. So I need to find the axis. This one seems okay. This one, not really. That's the problem with quaternion, is that I will be fighting a bit with the rotation here because, so I've explained this in the previous, and I don't know why it's not updating. Okay, looks already better, just offsetting a couple of frames. In one of the previous stream, I've explained how we can use a bone set to Euler to constrain a bone in quaternion to fix flipping rotation and stuff like that. And I've explained why quaternion sometimes can be pretty easy to work with. But here I think the spacing already looks, it's working for me. I mean, just moving those, I won't be fighting that much with that because in screen space it looks great. Here we can see that we have a slight recoil back onto this frame here. But it might be due to the body, or I could push the elbow if I want. But yeah, it works. Okay, so if I'm posing the bone here with the auto-keying, it does update the curve. But when I'm walking on the curve directly, it doesn't update the path. So I learned something today. So what I will do here is that I will maybe increase a bit the range. I will update I need to recalculate it, I think. Okay. And I will make a slight overshoot of the elbow here, like somewhere here. So you can see we have a pretty fast movement down. And just pull it a bit. Just a touch here. I want it to raise a bit, so it might be the X rotation, okay? And then I will just let it settle onto this frame here, just before she goes into another thing, okay? But I don't, it's like the moving old I did on the chest just before. I will let Blender do the job for me on those 4 frames, okay? And now what I will do is that I will just check the Z rotation of the forearm. So this rotation like that. What would have been nice is to drag a bit I will see if I can just drag a little bit by rotating on the local y-axis this to have the end dragging a bit while she's moving on the side. And I will do the same with the gun. So the forearm is supposed to rotate only on this axis, because if your forearm is rotating like that without moving the arm, it's because it's broken. It's impossible to rotate your elbow on the side. So we use this technique to break limbs when you make like very fast movement to create smears. But here I will just check its Z rotation. So I will get rid of the path here. Okay. And so here, for example, I have a big change. So I will smooth it a bit. So when she's moving her arms forward here, she can slightly open those arms too. We will avoid this way the clipping with the head. But also it's not like the arm is dragging and then you unfold. You will unfold a bit the arm and then lower. Okay. Why when I do this kind of motion, I will tend to, as soon as this rotate, this drags inward and then get deployed like that. But here I don't necessarily want that. It's part of the recover from the recoil of the gun. So I will soften this here and already there, and even more here. Okay, and I like the pose here. It's like she's praying or something. It looks a bit biblical here. That's interesting. And here I will blend a bit more. What I will look like in the very last path of is not to cut the eyes, for example, or at least not both at the same time. You know, having the arm cutting both eyes, and so we don't know where she's looking at, even if it's only for 1 frame. Because visually, what will happen is that if both eyes disappear, it will, since they are white and she's in a black suite by default, like that. It will be like an eye blink on one frame, or something will pop in the screen. So if you have like very bright features onto your character, like lights or stuff like that, you should be aware of that, of cutting them. And since the face is the thing that human being watch the most, face and hands are the central point of focus when you're looking at people. Even I mean, even sexually wise, I mean, because some people may argue that on a girl they are not necessarily watching the hands and the head first, but when it's moving and when you're I don't know, following something, it's what will catch your eyes for sure. So here I will just, as we did before, input a little bit of variation in the pose, but I don't want to overshoot like the gun going there because it's not that heavy. And I will just drag a bit with the hand here. So since she's doing a pretty fast move on the right, yeah, I will just curve a bit the ends on the side from there. Like the gun is dragging, so you just make it pointing toward its previous position, and that's it. And what I need to watch out is the spacing of the nozzle, we say, the tip of the gun here. So here it's pretty even, okay, which is cool. And here I have a bigger gap, but it makes sense. And then she's slowing down. So there you can see just stop and go back, the tip of the gun, okay, which I don't necessarily like. So here I will input a little bit of overshoot or weight. Very subtle. I don't want to feel like she's losing control of the gun, and then she will bring it back to her face in control. Okay. Yeah, it's you can't imagine this sequence of the animation. It's something I've been reworking since the first day of working. Like, yeah, it's a good idea, but when my mentor was checking the animation, he wasn't feeling. He did understand the idea, but he wasn't feeling the movement. So then we add an intermediate pose where she was on the right, looking up, and then going onto the left, and then going there. And on each review, I was like, I don't know if it works. And as soon as he was checking the animation, he was like, it's not working. And so we got back to the very first iteration here, which was this version of the animation. Okay, so you see that I will be, watch this elbow here, it's there, and then it's back. So there will be something to work on here. And the inverse kinematic constraint stops there as soon as she dropped the gun. Okay. So I can start fixing the left arm. So it will basically working on the shoulder to avoid the I will show you the arm problem. The flipping, so this. So you can see that I've keyed already a lot of different poses on the shoulder, because you can see here I had a lot of this kind of thing. So the idea is just to slightly move the shoulder until I get the right shape. And I will fix that afterward using a special trick. But I just want to avoid this at the time. I'm not necessarily focusing on the animation, because the blocking of the shoulder was pretty detailed. So I'm just fixing bugs. So there you can see here it's okay, because the arm is pulling back, so that's fine. I'm okay with this shape, but here doesn't really make sense. So I need to find and this is a rig limitation in Blender. I may not be able to find the solution, so I will try with the pole here. Okay, So this arm position is really bad, but then using the tweaker bone, I will be able to raise the elbow in position. So this is going to be a bit painful, but I can use space switching to do this, for example, by constraining the tweaker bone to an empty object. I think I will do that, and then I will animate this empty object in screen space. So here I haven't worked on this part of the animation, so but I think that from there everything is okay. So let's say we will freeze the animation there. I will go into the sheet. I will select my arm bones here and the tweaker bone. So yeah, this is like special recipe I'm showing you. So this is the kind of thing I hope to be able to explain in detail and as well as possible in my animation course. So I've improved my usual rig. If you've taken the Art of Effective Rigging course, each joint were I don't know how to say it, individual, let's say. There were like no influence one onto the other. Now the elbow drags the other part of the arm, okay, and so it's easier to get smoother curve with the arms. So I will show how I built this in coming tutorials. Okay. So I could whether animate the joint here frame by frame, okay, or I can use so the thing is that since it's not on the same chain, it should, you see it doesn't make the shoulder popping. So here I don't know why, to be honest, where is the limitation, but I figured this like this morning also. So yeah. So from there it was polished already. So there is a little recoil, and from frame 155 we have the 115, sorry, we have the program till 135. Okay, so I will I have a tool to do it automatically, the space switcher here. It's an add-on that is still under development by my good friend Finn, but he's like super busy. I know he got back onto it, so that's fine, and he should be able to release a beta version pretty soon, I hope. So I will just create, I will do it by hand to show you the process. So it's the same thing I've done in a video where I explain space switching. I snapped the 3D cursor to this bone. I will add an empty, okay. I will make it a little smaller here so that it's easier to follow, okay. And I will constrain this with a copy transform from this little guy here. So I will select just its name by Control C. It's the Lisa rig. So I will go here in the constraint and choose Lisa rig and pass the name of the bone. So now it's following the motion of the elbow controller here, okay? So now I will bake its motion by pressing F3, bake animation, bake action from 115 to 140. I don't remember, something like that. So I will do a visual keying clear constraint and overwrite. Generally I use this, but it doesn't have any action for the time being. So now it's not constraint anymore, but it's still following because it's playing this animation, and the animation is to move as the bone here, but in world space. Okay, so it will make, I think the rotation doesn't matter on this one. Let me check. Okay, the rotation matters a bit, so we will keep it, but the scale doesn't, so I can get rid of it. But it will be way easier for me to track the big gap of motion in world space than it will be to counter animate this point in local space. So what I will do then is that I will constrain this little guy here with a copy transform, and I will ask him to follow the empty. So now if I work on the empty animation, the elbow is following. So I will be polishing the animation from 115 to 145 with the empty, and then I will bake it back onto the bow. So what I will do for the time being is that I will just hide the constraints, and I will save, and I will just catch up with the comment playing the animation in the meantime. So and I will go into this. So so it's okay. So it's Logesh Shankar. You're from India or something like that? Logesh or Logesh, or maybe it's absolutely different. Ah, cool. Chano, so happy to see you here. Working on my luge move for the feet. So I'm near the end in the polishing stage. Did you rig it 1-to-1 to the origin? No, I didn't rig it like 101 because I didn't knew about the features, the whole features of the Lisa rig. And for example, I've created a new mechanism that I'm not using yet on my current rig, so I will stop the animation here. On the leg tweak, here I can now, upon the heel roll mechanism and the foot mechanism, I can rework the ankle position. Okay, so it allows me to change the foot and the ankle shape to avoid hard, angles with this part, like the wrist and the ankles. And this is something when I had my review, Jeremy Collins, my mentor, told me use the ankle mechanism to slide the thing and smooth the shape. And I was like, oh, I don't have this mechanism on my rig. So I experiment a bit and find this. And it does work, and I think I found a more advanced mechanism so that I can polish the ankle orientation without rotating the foot, which is not the case on this rig. But I need to run some tests. But yeah, this is one of the improvement I've made compared to the Art of Effective Rigging, for example, or from what is available in Rigify. I don't think they have this, but I'm not sure about it. Maybe it's available already. So yeah, so it's not 101. To answer your question shortly, did you transfer the weight from the original Maya rig, or did you just paint the weight? No, when you import the FBX, you keep you can import the deformation skeleton. So this is what I work from. It's the deformation skeleton. Then I had to reorder all the bone because when you import FBX, they goes like crazy. So I reconnected all the joint together and I rebuilt the whole um, control armature upon it. And I've also added a couple of shape keys on the face just to be able to blink the eyes and shape a smile, which is not available on the default rig. And and I'm happy because the guys that are working with the Maya rigs are a bit jealous, or they'd say, "Ah, that's nice to be able to pose the face," because that's like just a frown and surprised. There is like two shape keys. I haven't gone into something crazy, but yeah, it does help to have those to make more appealing animation, even if you're like completely into acting and game animation is a bit different in a way. We are more focused on body motion and body mechanics. But yeah, if you can use both, that's very cool for sure. So I didn't have to paint weight. I just had to fix some bugs in the hair, and that's it. And on the weapon and the equipment, because I think they were using a parent relationship, an object child to parent relationship to rig them. Oh, ok, t'es à Paris. Okay, okay. Do you use solidify modifier on cloth? No, no, because they were made in Maya, so there is no modifier on the character beside of the armature modifier and a pair of mask modifier I use to hide the arms, the weapons and stuff like this. Okay, so okay, OP, it does answer all your question. So I get back here. So I will first focus on the location because I didn't animate the rotation on the original bone. So for the time being, I don't care about rotation. I will frame this by selecting them and pressing the dot on my keyboard, and I will look for big gaps. Okay, so here I have a big change in the motion, but it's normal. Okay, but it's not necessarily the pose I want to reach. Okay, so I will just move the empty. Oh, I need to re-enable, sorry, the constraint here. I will just move the empty where it is supposed to be. Okay. So I'm watching out for arm stretching. Okay. And now I can see if I have a big change in motion. So you can see on the, I don't like to use normalize, but it will help to display it properly. So here you can see it goes down, up, while we are in the same motion, let's say, to the back here. So the arc might be a bit off. So I can even get rid of the keys. Since they are by default in auto clamp, they will like smooth one to the other, okay? So something I use also, so I won't be using it in there, I think. It's you go to, when I use this technique, so I bake to an empty, and to get a smooth curve, I go to key decimate ratio like that. And it will look for a big change in the curve, and it will erase point and try to keep the curve shape. So it can help. But I will do it manually here because I have a lot of motion change here. So again, I will just bring this here, and I will compare it to the previous position, and I will get rid of this key here I don't like. Okay. Then I will track the motion of the elbow, and I will just polish the curve as if it was a classic animation. So the thing is that here the empty is moving in world space. It's no longer following the arm motion or thing like that. So it might not be as intuitive as when the arm is stuck to it, but oh, I got rid of the wrong key here. I will get rid of all of those. For example, here I know I want it to be closer to the head, so I will have to work on the y-axis, but I will do that later in the cleaning. Yeah. So here again, I have a change in motion here, so I will keep the previous frame before I have a big change, and I will get rid of them. And then I will rework the curve by hand. And here, so the weird thing is that I have, so here, since I will be working on frame to frame here, I have this pose, big change, and slow down. And I don't necessarily want this. Even if this pose is appealing, okay, I can't get like those, this scissor shape of the elbows and then this pose. So I need to favorize whether to go closer to this one on this frame, or closer to the open state. So I will mainly try to keep one of the eye available on screen, and I need to work on the Y motion. I mean, so here if I go, this is what I told you before about cutting the eye. So on the previous frame here, she has both. I would just both eyes closed, so it's not a big deal. And I think it does work if I can see these eyes pointing up, and then I will eventually rework a bit this eye shape so that it's betterly aligned or looking at the same point. And here both elbows are clapping one with the other, and then it's relaxing a bit. So I just want to keep this motion a little more, or this position. So here it's still like too close. She's not like clapping her elbows, that will be painful. And then I just want to keep them together like a little longer, and opening slowly. And from there, the pose for me is okay. Okay. So now I need to check the spacing on X, because you can see that the arm got pulled back. So I will just use the motion path on this one too. It will help for sure. So okay. And then I will be able to, I don't want to see the frame number. I don't care about this. And here I can see the spacing if there is anything like super weird, like this change in the direction here. I will try to blend a little bit more onto the next one. Because if I check the shoulders, for example, I don't know if I can display both curves at the same time. Let's try with this one. 155 to 145, and I want to see the tip. Okay. All right. You can see that I don't have this here. The movement of the shoulder is smooth. The arc is like pointing in one direction or following one direction, while here is going left and then right. Okay, so it doesn't really make sense. Even if this hand is leading, the elbow is attached to the shoulder. Okay, and I know that my curve of the hand, as we have polished it before, has a nice arc too. So I know I can fix now this pose here and get the elbow closer to the hand. So I need to update the path here. Yeah, okay. Something like that. And now if I watch, I can maybe push it a little. It seems to be stretched already a lot. So I won't push it back too much. I will just check the animation here. Maybe it's a bit too... yeah. Okay. Oh, that's... maybe I need to move it in space. Yeah. It updates the path. Okay. So now it makes a better arc. So very fast movement. It slows down. This is where she's recovering, and then she starts moving in the next movement. And from curve wise here or path wise, there is only this frame that is bugging me. And the thing here is that if you watch the other elbow, its motion, or maybe from the side view, it's almost still in space, while this one is moving a whole lot, I feel. So I will just, yeah, this is because I have a lot of curve here. So it should be the X motion here. I will just bring it back a bit, just to keep the elbow a little more still as the other one. Now I'm watching the camera point of view, what I don't like here. So maybe it's a very fast motion. Oh yeah, it's right. But it pops in screen like super fast. Yeah. Maybe I can push it back a little bit so that we just see a bit of it before it goes totally in screen. Yeah. So there will be a bit of rotation to be fixed, but I can do this directly on the bone after a while. Also, the elbow opening in the end here looks weird. Maybe I should have made dragging a little more. And this is perfectly normal. I don't know. Yeah, I will make it drag a bit. It's still too close here. And then I will keep it closer to the elbow. So I like this pose, but I just want to move like everything a little closer to this point here. So I will take all the keys here and offset them. So and also this stuff here looks bad. Offset them like that. I will check on the other axis, like the x-axis. So I have also a little bump here. I will just get rid of the key. Get rid of it here. It should be smooth. Yeah, now it looks better. I have a slight overshoot on the right elbow, so I need to mimic it, I feel, on this one too. So it will be the y-axis, and somewhere here. So if you watch this one, you can see that here there is an overshoot, and then it recovers a bit. So while this one has a big easing, and it's way too smooth, so I will just make an overshoot 2 with an offset of 1 frame compared to the other. So on the frame 41 here, this one is getting back. So I will make this one the extreme of the second elbow, like that. And what I will do, I will just get rid of the keys. It will smooth it automatically and get rid of those two. Should work. Yeah. So now it has the overshoot, and it is offset by 1 frame compared to the other elbow. You don't want to have twinning when you have this kind of thing. Like for I think Luciano did that when you show the eye blink. You offset, I think, the blinking between two eyes. I don't remember if you push the detail that much. But what I'm sure about is Luciano does like super detailed animation for cinematic. And so he pushed this kind of detail to every single controller, like every single controller for the eyebrows and stuff like that. And I think this is something you've mentioned in your tutorial. So now I will bake. So I think I'm happy with what I'm seeing here. So I will bake back the animation onto the controller. Okay. So I will press F3, bake action, clear constraint. I want to get rid of this, and overwrite the current animation from frame 151 to 145, 115. Okay, you get the idea. I'm tired. So now, if I move this, nothing happens anymore. I can get rid of it. But now I have a key here on every frame, and it's following exactly the same motion as my MT was. Okay. And I've got rid of the spinning in the shoulder. So here there is still something a bit funky, but I guess it's gonna be okay. Maybe on the Ninja rig, yeah, we won't notice it that much because there isn't any caps on the shoulders that give a clear orientation, but it has fixed the issue. So I'm animating with this model because it's way smoother. Because this is only like, this one is only 20,000 triangles, while the other one is 50,000 triangles. Okay. And now I can go ahead and polish this motion. So there is, I really like big moves like that because I feel they are very, how to say it, intuitive to be polished. And yeah, I had a very hard time with this part of the animation. And I'm like not super satisfied, but that's fine. I mean, I've been fighting so much with this that I will consider it to be done, and maybe, yeah, there is a bit of, I need to drop the shoulder here. I don't like I hope it won't be bugging that much, but I will start dropping the shoulder a bit here. When she reached the final pose, let's say here, that's fine that the shoulder raised, but I want her to drop the shoulder and raise it back like that. And I feel like the pose was like a bit off here. And also here, like it's way too high. Okay, that should be fine. And I don't have any flipping issues. So here I still have some flipping with the head, but that's fine, I guess. Oh, there is something weird. Yeah. It seems I had oh no, okay. Maybe it was just a feeling like a jiggle in the arm. Yeah, I think it's okay. The animation is pretty smooth. So yeah, that's cool. I will save that and see what you're saying. Do you use, okay, no more question. Finally, I third tone or freer tone or third tone maybe. I don't know. But nice to have you here with us. Do you guys have any question before I dive into the last part of the animation? This one? No. So we just continue on. Just have a sip before. Oh, I'm pretty tired. I had a class this morning for iAnimate. I was taking the class. So it's at 5 in the morning. So yeah, with the daily job upon this, that's yeah, some work. So I will just start polishing the root first, but there is clearly a problem of timing. So I will the head is clearly leading the animation here. So from there to there, you can see there is a big gap, okay, which I need to fix. And there it will be mostly about checking the timing, making sure that I've almost animated it on once. So when we were blocking, so that's gonna be okay. I will just make sure that I get a nice body shape. For example, I will probably curl the leg more. And here you can see I have a big jump. So if I curl the leg a bit more here, it's gonna blend smoother onto the next pose. And make sure I have an offset in the between the chest, hips, and root motion, and the head motion for sure. So I will get rid of the dummy because it does get in the way. But here you can see there is some love to be given for sure. I think the hips here are dragging a bit too much, and then they don't pop enough. So yeah. So I will switch to the body here. I generally start working on the location curves. And I will just see how it looks. And I will certainly push the motion here. For example, here when she goes, as usual, if we were tracking the root motion here, it's almost straight. So if we focus only on this one, I can see that from the starting pose, and here it's almost a straight movement. From this pose to this one, you can see that the Z location is almost flat, and I want to curl like that. Oh, sorry, but I think you got my idea. I want to dive into the pose and then raise. So I will lower a bit the cog here, and you can see it's even getting up and then down, which sucks. But when you're blocking, you can track the bones for sure. It's not a problem, but you may not be looking at your curve, so you can use the motion path tracker when you are blocking for sure. That's not a bad idea. So now it should be better. Okay, and I need to check the side motion too. I think it's already decent, but I want to push it more here, I think, on the side. So from the camera view, it will be the forward motion, I guess. Yeah. Even if it goes further and then go back, I don't care because it will support the motion I'm aiming for. So I think I can push it a little forward. And so the thing is that there is also camera rotation, I think, on this part of the animation. So it makes things a little hard because in a way the camera motion is fighting the. I will just offset this just to see. Yeah. What I'm doing, so I will just also track this. So I will get rid of the previous tracking, which was the shoulder. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting like, yeah, tired. So I don't know if I will go over the wall polishing of this part. Okay, and I will just track this. Okay. So maybe I can increase a little bit the spacing of between those two curves here. Just a bit. Where is the x-axis? Okay. So she's at full speed here. So this is where the stretching starts. And you can see that she's like super stretched when the spacing is not at its maximum, which is kind of a mistake. So I will slightly maybe try to drag her a little back here. Okay. To get more spacing onto the next frame. So here I will add a new key. And I will push the pose even more. Okay. It feels weird. But it's in the shape of the body. I think I need to work the shape of the body. I should just focus on the path here. There is also the rotations that might be refined for sure. And here I want there is a slight overshoot. I will just increase it a little bit. I don't want to get stretching issues with the leg, even if they can stretch. And I think I will take just one additional frame to settle. Yeah. So this will be also a good time here to... So you can see the spacing of the hand here. It's almost this, it doesn't even move that much from this pose to this pose. So that's, yeah, that's problematic. I think I will need more stretching on this pose and a little less on this one. So the stretching of the body should, it's not a rule, but it should match the speed of the root. So the faster the root of the torso is, the more stretching I should have in my body. But then you have the fact that some parts are dragging, others are leading. So yeah, this whole combination you have to work with. But I think the motion path look like pretty nice and simple. So I will call this done, and then I will just check my curve to see this kind of thing here, those potatoes in the rotation flow, and see if I can push also the rotation. For example, here, if I push the rotation forward, her silhouette will look a little more squashed, and we have always the bouncing ball, or the idea of squash and stretch to be thinking of. Okay, so here this is the most extreme pose. Can I push it a little more? Probably. Okay, and so here I get a smoother curve, and if I push in, I will push this up a bit and push that pose a little more. And I want her to dive into the pose leading with the head. Okay, so the head will dive and make a nice curve. So I really need to focus on this and to find the angle that allow me to twist the body a bit like that. So I might just push this a little lower there. And here, let's see, it's like I will have to play with the chest motion here and the head motion, because there is like it's very slow and then it's very fast, while here the curve looks pretty decent. And here I have a big change in motion, maybe because of the quaternion, I'm not sure. So I almost want to twist her a little more, so that is a little more from a profile, maybe here. Something like that, so that I will be able to curl her back a little more. So here maybe I will twist, yeah, just a little more. And now I get a nice profile. So I will maybe try to keep the left arm in camera space during the movement, so that we understand the silhouette. Because if I hide the arm here, it will look weird. So it could be like appearing in the back, I don't know how, but something like that, you know, or in the front, just a touch, so that the silhouette reads well. So in game animation, you're not necessarily focusing on camera space, but as I told before, there is always a point of view. So the animation need to work from every angles. Okay, it does from there. Okay, there is no problem. The character is balanced. But then if I have to favorize the silhouette shape, etc., I will do it in the main point of view of the game. For example, in Noara, we are in a top-down view. So we will favorize big slash attack horizontally than vertically, for example, where you won't be reading that much. And if we are using like from top-down animation, we will use a lot of smears to make visual arcs from the point of view of the player. So yeah, here there is a lot to be done with the chest motion and the head motion. So I will work on them right now, just for a few minutes, and then I will call it done, because it's yeah, I'm a bit tired now. Yeah, I woke up at 5 this morning. I generally wake up at 6 and start working at 7 until 6 p.m. But when I have classes like on Wednesday and Friday, I start working or learning at 6. So yeah, those are like big days, like 12 hours. So and since I'm working on I have 3 different projects at the time. So Noara is my main project, so it's at least half a day of work, so 5 to 6 hours a day. Then I try to spend at least 2 hours animating for the iAnimate classes. And I have another project I can't talk about, but I think you'll heard about it like before Christmas for sure. So it's not my animation course, because I'm not keeping this secret. It's for a customer or something like that. But I can't talk about it or nor share anything about it yet. So They didn't ask me not to talk about it, but I guess it's since they haven't publicly talked about it, I guess it's still like marketing-wise, it's still secret. So you can see the arms going bananas here, like left, right, down. It's so I will hide them while I'm polishing the torso. This is yeah. So you may not do this during the blocking stage because you need to see the whole silhouette. But when splining, that's perfectly fine to hide them because I won't be doing like a drastic change in the shape. And if so, the arm should be following a little bit from the blocking, and then I will fix their pose and enhance it during the splining. But for the time being, they are just distracting, so I will hide them and I can hide the gun too, okay? So it's like I could also hide the legs and work with a bean shape, such as the dummy here. So it's the rig from the rigging course, and I just hide the leg and the arm. And if you watch it, so it's not polished at all. It's just the blocking here, but you can feel the motion. So I may edit a bit the mesh after and put some, I don't know, reactors or something, like make the viewer think it's some kind of training dummies with anti-gravity stuff onto it to give it a sense, a bit like in Overwatch when you go into the training stage, or I don't know how to call this. So let's track this. The head, okay. I will get rid of that. So here it will be both location, which is already pretty fine. Oh yeah, but the root is here on the controller. It's not on the. So I will track this one instead. Okay. It will make more sense. And I think, okay, so here you can see this weird this hard angle motion. So I definitely need to dive a little more into the pose here. So I'm not working with the curve right now because since it's on once at this stage, reading the curve won't really help, I guess. So I'm pushing the pose, and here I also need to push it down a bit. And you can see the torso is making not a so great shape when aligned with the legs, so I will probably have to fix its shape working with the tweaker bones. So I will pull it down a bit. Okay. I think I need to move a little forward toward, sorry, the next pose. Yeah, my English now is getting like really bad because I'm super tired. So yeah, thinking in English now is getting very complicated. I don't know. Maybe I should twist her a bit more onto this pose. So here I will check the curve because I feel like she should be twisting a little more toward the next pose. So here you can see this motion here is weird, and it's the twisting bone. So it does make sense. So yeah, reading the curve. So you have to be careful with quaternions because uh, the change can be just a change in the vector that is used to solve the quaternion rotation. But in this case, yeah, it did make sense a bit. Yeah, I need to work with the hips. I think I need to delay or drag the hips on this pose and this one, and then start to catch up on those. On this one, it's too stretched between the hips and the torso. I like the shape, but timing wise, I think it doesn't work. And the head is leading the animation, but I can't really in this case pose the head first and then drag the chest with it because they are closely attached. So from there, I will work on the whole neck head chain, which is a bit buggy on this character, I must say, because of my rig. It's not, but I've been fighting with the rig a bit. So yeah, I think the motion path doesn't look too bad, let's say. And in the end here, I want it to pop a little higher, or maybe when it goes down here, I will put a little bump, something subtle, but instead of having it like going down super smoothly, I will just add a little bump to the chest. To do my day job at the same time. Thank you. Thanks, Jay. You're there almost every day. That's super kind of you. Yeah, I really appreciate seeing you guys here. You see, so it's I have like it goes down fast and then slow down into the next pose. So maybe I should just, as soon as she reached the top here, hold maybe this extreme for just one frame, and then take this one here and push it down a little more so that I have just a little bounce. Yeah, that's subtle, but I will add it to the head too, so that we have a little something like that. Not too extreme because she's hitting here an extreme pose, and her body just want to get back into something. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but I'm not overshooting. I'm overshooting a pose that is already some kind of overshoot, so you have to keep it subtle. And also, if I go too cartoony in the end, which is really what I like to do. I mean, for me, doing too realistic animation is something I don't like. I don't see the benefit of doing it, to be honest. If you want to make super realistic animation, just go into motion capture. Unless it's for training, for sure. Which will be the case for our next assignment. It's going to be a takedown, so two characters interacting with each other. So it can be very stylized, but when you go like very realistic in a way, it um, you need to have like better body mechanics. So yeah, you have to make better animation in a way, technically wise. So I'm like super I don't know, stressing about the next assignment because I haven't finished this one, and we will start it like on next week. And between the feedback I will have on next week and this week, and the fact that I will need to work on finish this assignment, start a new one, and the fact that I'm finally taking holidays. So I will be on the road for like 3 days on next week. I will be away from any keyboard and computer for 3 days. That's gonna be tough. So here I'm just trying to in camera space here. So the eyes are going crazy. I will just fix this really quick because it's disturbing to me. So we'll check the face here and push them down. Check this pose. That's fine. Fine. Not fine. And from there, I will just don't care because I will first have to polish the head position before I care about the eyes. So it's like we are pulling the character by the head, okay? While Donald Trump will pull it from another way, let's say. I prefer to use the head. I don't want to get political here, for sure. So, or maybe it will be like to make jokes and stuff like that, for sure. So I want to dive into the next pose. Where here the arc of the head is okay, but from there to there, I don't know. I don't like it, so I think I will slightly do like that. And here I need to also do that. So I don't think I will go over the whole polishing of the head here because I'm too tired, and it's more the time to have a glass of wine and chill than polishing heads. But you have the idea. I need to check the spacing also of the, and for the time being, I'm just positioning it, and I will be able to, since I worked on the spacing based on the root and the chest, okay? And then if I have to really tweak the spacing of the head, I can play with this with the translate controller, okay? So yeah, I will stop there because I just burning out right now. I will display the arm again, and I will play the animation. So if you have any question, it's now. I will just catch up with the stream. Uh, okay, cool. I have a character that I'm using in your rigging course, but it needs a lot of work. It's not fun to work with if you know what I mean, I guess. I need to get your running course to make it pretty. Hey, thanks, mate. Okay, no question, people. I will just output a render really fast. So just check if I'm okay into a PNG sequence. Bam, bam, boom, bam, pow. Okay. Oh, also, I need not to forget to work on the gun shape here. And let's go to view, save for sure, view, viewport render animation, and open After Effects. And I will just export the animation and I will be done. I wanted to say I got, and I'm getting a lot out of your rigging course. I very much look forward to your new course. Keep your strength up. Thanks for the stream and answering our question. Alan, you're very welcome. Thanks for having taken the course. Really appreciate. So yeah, I won't say anything about rigging content because I don't want to make false promise, but I'm still publishing along the way some new videos about rigging that are some kind of side videos that were uncovered in the art of effective rigging. But yeah, I will probably publish new other videos for sure. There might be I'm currently streaming a lot because I don't necessarily have the time to create new content for the YouTube channel, and I will be on vacation on Monday, so there might be a couple of weeks where there won't be any new content on YouTube, and I will spend a month in let's say another office, but I think I will be able to record new videos like in a couple of weeks or so. So don't hesitate on Twitter or whatever to let me know about any kind of rigging tip you or rigging issue you're facing. So I know you will ask for a complete face rig, but what I'm showing in the rigging course is like the fundamentals, and then if you want to go further on face rig, you just need to spend more time and add more controller, more shapes, more whatever. This is how it works. Again, complex rig, most of the time, like with 1,000 features, are not necessarily the best one. And once you have the fundamentals that are in the course, making more complex rig is just a matter of time. So Okay, so I think it's decent. I will just export the playblast and yeah, I will call this done. So I will save here. I will even close Blender because I'm super tired. And yeah, I will just put it on the desktop. Maybe I will. Oh, I forgotten to do something which is not about this. So yeah, I need to launch a big light map baking in Unity. That will probably take the night. Okay. Close this, save that, close that, watch the animation, and say goodbye. So guys, no question, that's cool. So thank you all for joining the stream. So here is the progress so far. So I'm still not super convinced of this move here. But yeah, that's... And the recoil also is... I don't... I think I need to, yeah, to... The head is... I need to offset the head movement a bit. And here the neck has... There is a strange shape here. And yeah, it's not feature film animation, so I can't move every single part of the character the way I want. And also I'm getting tired, I think so. But also when I will add a bit of, hair motion, that will really give the final touch to the animation, and it does really help when you have nice secondary motion like that, or overlapping motion or follow-through animation. This really helps. Okay, so I will just thank you, man. Switch to the goodbye screen. So thank you all for following the stream again, and yeah, I will see you in the next one, maybe tomorrow morning. I'm not sure about that. Maybe on Friday. I don't know even, because I have a lot to do before that. So I don't know if I will be streaming anymore for a little while. We'll see. Maybe I will be streaming during my holidays. I'm not sure about this. But whatever. You can find me on social media like Twitter and whatever on YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.